Are you trying to make your resume the best version possible? Well, you came to the right place. I am a college and career coach with over a decade of recruitment experience, and I've helped guide thousands of people on how to up-level their resumes. And these are all true, tried, and tested methods that got people to their desired career path. So go ahead and grab your resume and stay tuned because I'll be helping you with just that. I'm Tiffany. I'm a certified college and career coach. I make tons of helpful content around how to prepare for your career path, as well as applying to college and preparing for that as well. So go ahead and tell any of your family and friends about this channel and subscribe if you find this content helpful. Before we get into how to make the best resume possible, I wanted to call out that resumes are just a small fraction of what is required when you are looking for new opportunities. Oftentimes there's networking, different strategies to get recognized. And on top of that, some folks aren't even sure if this career path is the right match for them. So I have a lot of different tips and tricks on how to uncover these different challenges when it comes to your career path. So make sure that you're staying tuned so we can go over this step by step. All right, I'm going to be going over 9 steps on how to create the best resume. You can pause at some of these sections to do the work or just watch through and do the action items after. First is to gather a list of your work experiences and the dates that you've been working. And alternatively, I've worked with multiple people that don't have as much experience because you're new graduates or even if you're a high school student. So that's okay. You have tons of volunteer experience and involvement in your local community that you can also note down as an experience. Additionally, there's multiple different templates that I'll give you options. Go ahead and look at my description down below to get those templates. Oftentimes this step is pretty tedious because you need to backtrack, but it's so worth it. Once you lay that foundation, everything should be smooth. You're pretty much placing it as a puzzle onto your resume and figuring out how to wordsmith it as you will to make it stand out. Second step is how to beat the ATS system. ATS system stands for Applicant Tracking System. Top companies are using this method. Well, big companies because they get so many applications coming in. So they need a applicant tracking system to weed out applicants that aren't as qualified. And the best way to do that is to use machine learning or artificial intelligence to see what the correlations are for the description of the role versus the resume itself. So we need to beat this system in order to stand out. A sure way to do this is to utilize word clouds. And so I'll do a demonstration right now for you. So to get started, I want you to find a job posting that interests you. And I'm working with a current client that's interested in becoming a technical program manager or project manager. So I'll be using that as an example today. And what I did was just put in technical project manager in a Google search. However, there's plenty of ways to look for opportunities online, which includes LinkedIn, Indeed, or going directly to the company's job board. And just for simplicity's sake, let's just click on technical program manager here for Snapchat, Snap Inc. And what I want you to do is go ahead and copy and paste the entire job description that this requires. So at Snap, we believe that having a team of diverse backgrounds. All right, I get this question a lot. Should we be copy and pasting this as well? I think it makes sense too, because the company oftentimes says what their values are at the bottom, and you could try to embed that in some of your summary in your resume as well. So we'll copy all the way down from the company values to the qualifications and the benefits, not as relevant. And you'll see why in just a second, what makes the most sense to do. So I'm here at this word cloud. It's classicwordclouds.com. I'll link it in the description down below. And what I want you to do is go to File and go to Paste/Type Text. And here we go. I'm gonna add this entire job description in that we just copied and pasted, and we're gonna apply it. The methodology here is that once you copy the job posting in this classic word cloud, it's gonna give you all the top words that have been shown in this job description to help you beat the ATS system. All right, so I clicked on word list. So it gives you a cloud, but I want the word list. It's just easier to navigate. And now you'll see some of the top words. Of course, use your logic here. You don't need a whole bunch of ands in your resume. We're looking for those key words that indicate value. Data and engineering environment. It was said multiple times. So you definitely should have engineering environment somewhere on your resume. And if you didn't work in an engineering environment and you want to transition into this space, you could demonstrate it through different extracurriculars, activities, or personal passion projects that you've worked on that demonstrate you've been involved in an engineering environment. Programs, dashboards, so having extensive experience in dashboards, building dashboards likely. So you kind of get the drift here. These are going to be the top words that you need to embed into your resume itself. And I would recommend when you are editing and updating your resume, always tailor it to the different job descriptions. The reason why is not all technical program managers are going to be the same for each company. There's a different niche. So hence, it is going to be a little bit more work for you, but it's going to really pay off because the quality and the relativeness and likelihood of your resume being recognized is much higher if you tailor it versus not. So go ahead and note that down for each of your job descriptions, and then you can start embedding these practices in editing your resume. The next step is to craft your brand. So let's dig in. This is the template that I want you to use. I want you to map out your key experiences, and this is going to act as the summary that goes on the top of your resume. And this is a really important step in creating your resume because the first third of your resume is the most important real estate, as most career professionals call it. And for this example, I'll be using myself since some of you know my background already. So you want to start off with what your key titles are for your experiences, and then go into what accomplishments you had, the expertise that you exercised, and then what personality and values you highlight through these different roles. So I was basically a recruitment marketing events manager in Singapore. So shout out to Singapore. And my key accomplishments here is building, localizing, and scaling event strategies, focused on our employer branding for Google across Asia Pacific with 58 marketing events. So I'm giving you really specific examples and metrics. And this is my expertise that I highlighted. I built relationships with research and diversity-focused external organizations, groups to cultivate a strong partnership and enhance Google's brand in the employment marketplace. Very clear on what my expertise is. Focus on brand. And on top of that, I did a lot of research and focus on the diversity space. My personality and values. So what I really care about in general is diversity, equity, inclusion. And that was my primary role when I was in Singapore as a lead industry events manager. And that's what values are coming out in this example. I want you to do this exact exercise for all of your experiences, down to the volunteer events that you've done. By doing this exercise, you really highlight your values, and that's exactly what you want to interpret for the reviewers to make their lives easier. Okay, once you've done that, you're ready to put together your statement summary at the top of your resume. So this should be no more than 5 sentences long. I've seen some people like to do bullet points, and if you do bullet points, no more than 3. We want it to have that wow factor, that impact. What is your value that you're bringing to this company? On top of that, I want you to match the needs of the employer. What are those relevant skills, accomplishments, and experiences that you want to have to highlight that this employer needs you, or how you can help to solve their pain points? This part is going to be to help convince the resume reader that you are that good match for the position, so they'll continue reading the rest of your resume. So let me show you what my summary looks like. I'm a talent recruitment professional with 10 plus years of experience, including leading teams working in the technology field with a strong passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Extensive experience building hiring programs across the United States and Asia to attract top talent from leadership and diverse backgrounds. So just looking at this statement, I give you what my title is. I'm a talent recruitment professional. And I give you how long I've been doing this, and then the value that I bring. So, diversity, equity, inclusion expertise. And why is that important? Because it helps attract top talent with different backgrounds, and oftentimes that usually contributes to better products and work productivity. The next step here is to describe your impact with measurable results and quantifiable achievements. How will employers know how well you did for your other activities or company work if you don't demonstrate what that impact looked like? So that's why having things that are quantifiable is so important. A way to start this is to make a list of your achievements and accomplishments related to each of your experiences. Remember that first activity you had? So create another section for this for your quantifiable side. And I want you to think about any measurable results, use numbers, percentages, efficiency improvements. Have you reduced any costs? Solved any problems that others didn't see? Did you get recognized for anything? And if you did, what was that compared to what other people have done? Or have you improved any customer satisfaction? So these are some things to get your wheels turning, and I'll go over some examples that I have. Given my experience with the events, I built localized and scaled event strategies focused on employer branding across Asia Pacific with 58 marketing events. So there's the measurable impact, resulting in 11,000 plus new leads identified for Google. So you clearly see what my value was here. And then another one is increasing representation of the intern class by a historic 3 times for this season, 2018-19, by reviewing data trends and qualitative intern and interviewee feedback. You clearly see what my action was and the huge impact that I was able to make through these quantifiable measures. This step is oftentimes one of the most difficult for a lot of my clients, and it's because you're very bashful about all the impact that you made. You feel like you're being too boastful, but this is the time to exercise that proud and confidence that you have for yourself and your accomplishments. Because if you're not the one that's proud, who else would be? So once you come up with some of those quantifiable measures, you're going to want to move on to the next step, which is creating a custom LinkedIn URL and also updating your public profile. This step does take some time as well, but the good thing is you've already done the legwork and the other steps to start inputting it into your LinkedIn profile. I'll make a separate video on all the tips and tricks I have for LinkedIn because I don't want to make this video too long already. All right, we're almost done. So once you've done that, I want you to choose a resume format. I'm linking a few in the description down below that I mentioned earlier. And then I want you to start inputting the work that you've already done and putting together either in a chronological format, functional format, or a combination of the hybrid resume format. And last but not least, go ahead and optimize your resume once you've inputted all that information. You can use resume optimization tools. There's JobScan, VMock, there's a plenty of others. Some are free, some are needing to be paid for, and I'll give you some of those options in the description down below. And the purpose of these resume optimization tools is to, once again, beat the ATS system. It's going to give you the likelihood of how your resume is going to stack up against the rest when you do apply, looking at those keywords and related job description. I know you got this. Make sure that you comment down below any questions you might have regarding your resume updates, and like this video and subscribe for more helpful content on how to achieve your career ambitions. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.